Hi everyone, welcome back to Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. I am going to show you today how to make a Dollar Tree DIY two-tiered farmhouse style tray. Okay, it's going to be made very similarly to yesterday's post where I made a Dollar Tree service caddy kind of a thing where you would put your knives and forks and spoons and whatnot in it. So today I'm going to do another two-tiered tray, just a different variation. I have not seen one like this done before, so I'm hoping that it's going to turn out, and I hope that you like it. So you're going to need some supplies. You're going to need your template from yesterday where you drew out, and if you didn't join me for yesterday, let me tell you what I did. So take and put your pie pan down on a piece of paper and trace around the outside edge to make a circle. Fold it in fourths so you can get the center and cut out a notch in the center. This is where you're going to drill holes so that it can go down over the top of your paper towel holder. Okay, so you're going to do that, and then you're going to draw that or mark that notch with a Sharpie marker. Okay, then you have to drill the holes. You're going to need from the Dollar Tree a paper towel holder. This is just one of their little ones. They're always stacked on top of each other and they're sometimes hard to get apart. You're going to need a glue gun and lots of glue. You're going to need some E6000. You're going to need a package of these wooden dowels from the Dollar Tree. Make sure you look because they're changing their packaging right now, and some of them have 15 and some of them only have 12, so pay attention to that. You're going to need some of this foam mounting tape, also from the Dollar Tree. It's Super Glue brand, so it's extra sticky and I really like it. And then you're going to need some twine. I tried to go get some more twine at my Dollar Tree today, and I went to 3 different Dollar Trees and none of them had twine. So I hope Dollar Tree isn't getting rid of their twine. I'm hoping that those 3 Dollar Trees were just out. So I know they're moving stuff around, getting new stuff in for back to school, so we'll see. All right, so this is the supplies you need. I don't think you're going to need anything else. But yeah, so the first step is to cut out this template and mark where you're going to drill your holes. Then you're going to drill holes all the way across here and cut out the jagged edges with the tin snips. And that's what I'm going to go do now, and I'll be back as soon as I'm done with that step. I just wanted to show you real quick how I mark where my holes need to go. I just put the template on and I drew several little circles around that with a Sharpie marker, and I drill 2 pans at a time. All right, I drilled my holes. I cut out in the middle with tin snips, and then, or a wire cutter actually, and then took a file to it and tried to file down some of the rough edges. These are still pretty rough, so I'm going to see if I can use these pliers I have here. When I put it through or did a trial fit on over the paper towel holder, it kind of curled them back out. So I'm just going to see what I can do about trimming off some of these jagged edges. Now, it doesn't matter completely. It's just easier to work with if some of these jagged edges are removed. But you're going to cover it with some hot glue and some foam tape, so it's going to be okay. All right, so the next thing I need to do is get my foam tape going. And what I do for that is, see how it's divided into little square section or rectangular sections? I tear off 2. Then I peel off the backing and I fold that in half and stick the 2 together. So I'm working with a double thickness of the foam tape. Okay. Then I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces. The next step is we need to attach our pie plate to the bottom of this paper towel holder. But if you look, this wire that makes the middle is on top of this base. And so I need to put some tape, some foam tape on each side of the wire, and then in a couple of places around, just so my pan has a place to make contact and be nice and secure. So I am going to peel the backing off, and I'm going to stick this right up against the wire down the middle. push it down. I'm not worrying about E6000 to attach this to the chrome. It seems to stick pretty well, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm peeling off my backer there just because it's easier to do as you go, in my opinion. If you want to wait till all of your tape squares are on, you go right ahead and do that. It works too. I'm going to grab my E6000, and I am going to put a little dot on top of each one of these little foam pads. Not a lot, just a little. And then I need to put E6000 on this bar or wire or whatever you want to call it that holds everything together. Then I'm going to take my pan, whichever one has the biggest hole. If you end up with one having a bigger hole, put the bigger hole one down on the bottom, and you'll see why in a little bit. So this takes a little force, but I'm going to push it down over the paper towel holder part of this. And I'm going to push it all the way down. Okay, so now I think you can see I've got the little bumper pads in there, and it's making contact with the pan, and I've got the E6000 making contact with the pan on this little bar. Okay, now I just need to put some weight in this pan and let it sit overnight to harden. The next thing you're going to need to do is, I'm having you do this now so that it has time to dry as well. You're going to need to attach, using hot glue and E6000, 2 of these little sticks to the sides of your paper towel holder. This is what's going to keep your top pan from falling down into the bottom pan. Okay, so let your glue gun heat up and run some E6000 and some hot glue, and then you can tie it into place with a piece of string. Okay, so I'm going to put a healthy amount. I'm not being skimpy on this. A good amount of E6000 on the stick, and stick it to the edge of the part that comes up for your paper towel holder. Now, if you're having problems with this thing standing up, hit it with a couple of dots of hot glue. That will help hold it in. After completing this project, I had some trouble attaching the top tray. It needed more of a surface to glue to so that it wouldn't wobble back and forth. These 2 little sticks did keep it from falling down into the bottom pan, but it didn't give it any surface area. So what I would do at this point is glue in 3 or even 4 sticks on each side. Now in this video, you're going to see me fix that problem with Jenga blocks, which is another option. You could glue some Jenga blocks in right now and give yourself some surface area to glue on. But you just need some kind of platform that for the top tray to land on and to be glued to so that it doesn't fall from side to side. Then you need to put some weight in the pan to hold down the pan while it makes connection with the holder underneath and the little foam pads. So load up that pan with lots of weight. And for that, I like to use glue and paint and whatever I have that's a full bottle that's kind of heavy. All right, now this just needs to sit overnight. You could actually, after about 2 hours, go ahead and on with the next step, but I want to make sure that it's good and solid before I move on. So I'm going to let it sit until tomorrow. All right, so my glue has had time to dry, and the sticks are nice and secure on the sides, and it looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a small hammer, and you can probably get a small hammer at the Dollar Tree. I haven't looked. I'm going to stick the hammer in between the wires of the holder, and I'm going to tap down the edges that are curling up. This is going to require some more of this foam tape. So I've got 3 squares torn off. I'm going to take one off the backing, and I'm going to line it up right up against the wire on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to take the second one, and I'm going to line it up right against the wire on the other side. Okay, so I have 2. I'm leaving the waxy backing on them. And then I'm going to take my third one, and I'm going to cut down in about half, and I'm going to stick that right in the middle. Oh, I could have gone a little bit wider. This is where it gets tricky to kind of measure it. I could have put it up there, I guess, and marked it a little better, but I didn't, and now I'm cutting another piece. So what I'm just trying to do is cover completely that hole that I drilled, and it's kind of sharp, okay? I'm just going to leave it like that on the bottom. The bottom is done. Got my glue gun heating up. This is going to take a good puddle of glue, so make sure you have a glue stick, extra glue stick handy. Okay, so I'm going to flood in a good puddle of glue, and I'm going to make sure it gets all the way around the base of all of this. And as long as you don't touch it while it's cooling, it's going to dry pretty smooth. Okay, so I'm just making sure that all of that rough metal is buried in that puddle of hot glue. Then you just got to let it sit until that is completely cooled and dried, because the next step is to wrap this with your jute twine. So I'm going to set this aside until that puddle of glue is solid, and then I'll be right back. It'll take about 5 minutes. I think my hot glue is cool enough to go ahead and move on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the jute, and we're going to wrap all the way around up to the top of these sticks. Don't go past the top of the sticks, but go to it. So I'm going to put a fresh little glob of glue right there, and I'm going to have one of my popsicle sticks handy, and I'm going to push the end of this into the hot glue, and I'm starting right where the stick and the metal of the paper towel holder come together. And I'm just kind of pushing it in. The glue that I put, the puddle, is still a little bit soft, and I'm just going to kind of push it in and let it hold, and I'm going to put a little more glue over that, and I'm going to put a little glue on this side, just because I want that bottom to be secure. Okay, I'm going to hold that with my popsicle stick, and I'm going to wrap around, and I'm going to come right back into that glue puddle. And I'm going to do that twice because I want that bottom to stay secure. I'm going to use my stick and push it down, and then I should be good to go. And I'm just going to run a little bit of glue up each side as I wrap. Now you can move your pan, or you can turn your jute around, whatever. I just like to turn the pan because that allows me to pull the jute nice and tight. Almost to the top, so I'm going to add glue to both sides, because I want this to be good and secure, because we're just about to the spot where we're going to stop. Make sure you get these good and tight and good and close together, because once this gets into the glue, you can't push it down very well once the glue sets. So wrap it tightly, All right, now I'm at the top, so I'm going to put some extra glue on here, and I'm going to wrap around. I'm trying not to go over the top edge of the sticks, but I need to secure this jute so it doesn't come undone. So I wrapped it around twice, clipping it off and pushing it into the glue that's there. Okay. Now, get your other pie plate. Let's see how this looks. Okay. It's a little better on this side. Now, I'm going to push that in, but I still need to do the trick with the foam mounting tape to keep my glue from running away. It's just going to be a little trickier on this one. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm coming under right next to the bar on both sides. Try to hammer it. You can hammer it a little bit. Make sure that it's hitting on those sticks. Get out that E6000 and really goop it in there on those sticks. Okay, so gluing the top pan on the way I did wasn't sturdy enough. So I'm going back and kind of changing it up. I've got some of these tumbling tower blocks, and I marked one for the width of inside between here. So now I just need to cut it down, and I'm going to use a box knife at least to start it. So I've got the piece cut to size to fit in between. I need this side. It's really hard for you to see, but I'm going to kind of stuff it down inside of the twine. But I have, I don't know if you can see that little piece of wood stuck down inside of there, and it's glued in. So I'm going to have 3 pieces of Jenga block squeezed in there. And I'm going to put some E6000 inside of there. So now I have this. And I'm going to put E6000 on top of the blocks as well. This should help keep it from tilting back and forth. Plenty of E6000, and I'm going to pop a couple of dots of hot glue in there as well to help hold it in place until it sets. Push it down. So now underneath looks like this, and I'm going to get some weight on there so that it stays level. Okay, so I finally got the top tier of this tray stabilized, and how I did it was by putting those 3 Jenga blocks in there, and now it's on there pretty good and solid, and I'm happy with it. But I'm not happy with how this looks, so I'm going to wrap this with some twine. Just in the same way that I wrapped this part, I'm just going to wrap this bigger part up here, and I'm going to start at the bottom. Probably going to need my trusty popsicle stick to push that in, and I'm just going to wrap the edge of the blocks. And so I'm guessing that all the way around on this first wrap we're going to need hot glue to hold that string right on the edge. So I'm going to put hot glue all the way around. One more time around. Find a good place to stop, which I think is right there. Cut this off. Tack in a little bit of glue. And just pull this into it. Just a little more. Now, if you don't like this wood part to show right here, you can cover that with twine as well. Okay, see if I can show you. That's what both sides covered looks like. Okay. Now that blends in a little better, in my opinion. Now I've got to draw my attention back up to the top of the pan, because just like on the bottom, we need to flood this area with glue to keep fingers from getting cut. So I'm just going to run a bead around the outside edge. Trying to make it straightish, and then flood the middle. Just flood it out so that it can be a smooth petal. Okay. And then that just needs to have time to harden and dry, and then we'll wrap the top part. This is hardened up enough. It's not completely cooled and hard yet, but it's hard enough. So I'm going to stick my twine in there and get it glued in real good. I'm not worrying about putting the little dowel sticks around this one because it can be smaller. It's up top, it's fine. Well, I just kind of made a gluey mess of the pan. Not cool. All right, then we're just gonna rock and roll. I am up to there, and I think that's where I'm going to stop. So I'm going to run some glue down inside of my opening here. I'm going to twist this around and trying not to let go of my wrap, keep it tight. I'm going to tuck this piece into that glue so it kind of closes it off. So I just wrapped it around and stuck it down in between the two layers so that it kind of closes that opening. Squishing it together. And voila, my two-tiered farmhouse tray is complete. I just have to clean off all the glue strings. Now, if you don't like the hot glue showing, you can hit that with a little bit of metallic colored paint. If you did not want this to be silver metal colored, you could spray paint it before you wrap the twine, or you could even spray paint it after you wrap the twine if you wanted. I don't like all the strings hanging, so I'm going to just give it a little haircut. Just to get some of those excess strings off. Okay. Blow away the dust and rub off all the glue strings, and we will be good to go. Alright, this has been my Dollar Tree DIY two-tier farmhouse tray. I hope you've liked this project and that you'll run out to the Dollar Tree and get a paper towel holder and 2 pie plates and give it a try for yourself. Okay. This has been Crafting at Whimsy Wonderland. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.